Hello and welcome back. In our last course, we worked on JavaScript, and I believe you had a good understanding of what JavaScript is all about. And I know you're going to do well. But right here, we're going to start a new language. And the language we're going to be working on is an interesting one, which you are going to be having a good understanding also. And I believe this language is widely used, and we are going to dissect the possibilities of making good applications with this language. Now, what is this language we're going to be working on? Now, it is PHP. We are going to be working on PHP in this few sections we're going to be having together. Now, what is PHP? PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. Now, before I move on, let me just give you a brief rundown on what PHP is all about. It's a server-side scripting language, and we use PHP for the backend in programming, in web development. We did HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end. We can also add a framework for the front end, which is Bootstrap. Now, PHP is for the backend. It's a server-side scripting language. That is to say, what do we mean by server-side scripting language? It cannot work except it has a server running on your PC. All right, there must be a server before PHP can actually work. Now, it stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. It's an acronym. And PHP is a server-side scripting language. Also, PHP is free to download and use. Okay. And another thing you need to know is that PHP is a powerful tool for making dynamic and interactive pages. Okay, it's a very powerful tool. We make dynamic, we make interactive pages. Okay, so we know what that means. We can create dynamic content. We can create interactive pages, not just static HTML page. With PHP, you can do loads and loads of stuffs on your on that particular file, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So PHP can be embedded in the HTML. Very, very sweet when using PHP. The fact that you can embed PHP in HTML is a very, very, very wonderful thing that we need to learn, and I'm going to be showing you how to achieve that when using PHP as a language. Now, also, PHP is an open source software. It's an open source language. What does that mean? It means that developers can also contribute to the language. So we have quite some lot of developers around the world. So you can also contribute to the community. PHP has a vast community, and developers can come in there and make contribution for the betterment of the language. Now, also PHP script that executed on the server. Now, your PHP file, your PHP code is what we call scripts. They are executed on the server. That is to say, they are executed in there must be a server running on your PC before your PHP can be executed to the browser on a plain HTML. All right, so that is to say, if we're running PHP now, we must have a server. If it's not a local server, it must be an online server. But the bottom line is that there must be a server in place. All right, so using the online server, you can get a server from a hosting company. You know, we have GoDaddy, we have Namecheap, we have quite a lot of them out there. So you can get a server there, and you can now have access to run PHP on that server that you are getting from those company. And better still, if you don't have the online server, you can use an offline server, and that's what we're going to be using in the course of this course. So we're going to be using XAMPP. So XAMPP is an offline server where you can install it on our PC and make use of that particular application to run our PHP code. So very, very easy. We're going to be working on that. Now, also PHP support many database, quite a lot of database. PHP support MySQL, Oracle, Sybase, Solid, we have Progress SQL, quite a lot of them that PHP actually supports. So that's just a brief what is PHP is all about, just a brief introduction. So what is a PHP file? Also, we have what a PHP file is all about. So we're going to be working on what is a PHP file. Now, PHP file has an extension with .php. Okay, so you can, when you're saving a PHP file, you want to create a PHP file, you must have the extension with that's the name of the file, and there must be an extension .php on that file. So you can't just save a file and you want to run the PHP code in it and you don't have the extension .php, or you have an extension .html and you're trying to put a PHP code inside of it. It's not gonna work. So what you need to do is to create it the right way, and creating a file that you want to use PHP on, you have to put .php extension on it. Also, PHP file can contain text, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also PHP code right inside the PHP file. You can have all these technologies inside of those PHP files. Very, very easy, very sweet, very easy to understand also. Number 3, we have PHP code executed on the server, and the result is returned to the browser as plain HTML. So that is to say, we write our PHP code, it goes to the server, is executed on the server, then it goes to the browser, we get a result in the browser as a plain HTML. Very easy, very, very, very simple to understand, and very easy to achieve when using the PHP language. And also, there are some websites we have there, some top websites we have there that are running on PHP. We have Facebook. Facebook is running on PHP. Also, we have Wikipedia. Wikipedia is also running on PHP. We have Flickr. Flickr is running on PHP also. We also have WordPress. WordPress is a content management system, the CMS. It's a very powerful tool that we have in our modern age right now to build websites, and we know that WordPress is running on PHP. So we have various standout websites that are out there that are running on PHP. So that is to say, PHP is still very much in vogue, is still very much relevant in this our modern age. Yes, we have quite a lot of technologies that that are present now that we use to build web applications and build websites and the rest, but I can tell you categorically that PHP is still very, very relevant in our modern age. Lastly, what can PHP do? What can you do with PHP? What can you do with PHP? Number 1 point I'm going to be giving you here is that PHP can generate dynamic page content. Very, very, very nice. You can generate dynamic page content. Okay, so we can use PHP to generate dynamic page content. Also, PHP can create, open, read, write, delete, and you can also close files on the server. Okay, very, very easy. Also, PHP can collect from data. What we mean by collect from data is that you have a website and you have a form in the website, and users come in there. You're picking the data coming in from the form, and you take it back for processing. Maybe to store it in a database, or you can use the data for anything. But the bottom line is that PHP can collect from data. You can pick those data coming in from the form. Your user going in there to put in, maybe for example you have a form that requires the email, the password. So when the user goes in there, the user writes in his name, and he puts in the email, you put in the password. So PHP can help to collect those data and use it for processing. Also, PHP can send and receive cookies. PHP can send and receive cookies. Cookies is just like a small piece of file that is sent into your browser. You can use that for different purposes. Also, PHP can add, delete, modify data in your database. You can add, delete, and modify data in your database. So you have a database connected to PHP, just like I said previously, not quite long. I said we can have is compatible with quite a lot of database, so you can add data, you can delete data, you can modify, you can update, you can a lot of things you can do on in your database with PHP. Also, PHP can be used to control user access. Okay, and also PHP can encrypt data. Okay, one of the data that we encrypt the most is your password. Okay, so we have password encryption. We just try to encrypt the password so that it can be secured. All right, also PHP is not just is not only text that can be output using PHP. No, it's not only text. PHP can output images. Okay, PHP can output images. PHP can output PDF files. PHP can output XML and XHTML files also, and PHP can output movie files also, that is videos. All right, so that's just basically what this introduction on PHP is all about. I believe you have a quite knowledge, a very good, not just a good, you have a good introductory knowledge about what what you can achieve with the PHP. And I hope you have that knowledge. Now you know what PHP can do, you know what we can achieve with PHP. And in subsequent sessions to come, we're going to be writing a lot of code, building projects, and doing a lot of stuff that we love doing with PHP. So thank you for your time, and bye for now.